What's going on, sports fans? We continue our coverage of how high school sports looks right now, which is everyone practicing safe social distancing and missing, for our instance right here, baseball with Cooper Ron's our next top recruit. He's from Cathedral Catholic. He's going to be a UC Santa Barbara Gaucho next season. Thank you very much for joining us, my man. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So life without baseball, what does it look like for you the last couple weeks?
It's pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. It looks a lot like playing cards with my family or playing MLB The Show.
Okay, so definitely going to have to get your PlayStation tag so you can join our San Diego league that we got going on the Diamond Dynasty.
Yeah, for sure.
What card games?
Usually just like blackjack or these fun card games that we play that no one really knows about, but it's called golf. It's pretty fun.
Okay, I have been mercilessly destroyed in Uno more times in the last couple of days than I have ever before at any period in my life. So I feel you on that, where you're digging deep into the card game repertoire. Let's talk about UC Santa Barbara. Why did you decide there, and what was that recruitment process like for you?
It was a good one. I mean, I went up to visit on like a Friday, I think. So I saw it Friday night, and then I got the offer Saturday the next day. And then it took me like a week or two, and then when I was on my visit, it felt like I was at home, because I'm from Carlsbad. It's right on the beach. It's a nice place. And then the coaches are just like phenomenal in my opinion. I mean, I'm pretty close with both of the coaches that recruited me, Coach Fontino and Coach Checketts. And then I always tell people Coach Checketts is just like a genius when it comes to developing pitchers. He's first class. So I just pulled the trigger and I committed.
You're absolutely right that it is right there on the beach. Other than Pepperdine, I don't think you can get much more beach-based than Santa Barbara is. So close to the beach. You're going to have a fun 4 years there, or 3 if you get drafted, or 1 if you get drafted, none if you get drafted out of high school. Not trying to tell you how to live your life. You mentioned pitching. I'm assuming that's what you're going to focus on in college.
I mean, Coach Remaker doesn't like to give me too many at-bats, even though I beg him.
And pitchers are athletes. We know how to hit.
Even though I hit 1,000, I was 1 for 1 this season. He wouldn't put me in the 4-hole ever.
Exactly. Coach?
I beg him every practice.
Better think about that a little different, Coach. So introduce yourself as a pitcher in terms of what you hope to bring to the staff at Santa Barbara for all the fans up there.
Basically, I just however I can contribute, I like to do that, whether it's out of the bullpen or starter. I was out of the bullpen last year in high school because we had 2 really good starters with my brother and Shane Telfer. And then this year I started games, the 3 games that I got to start. So I can basically start or relieve. I can be a power pitcher when I need to. I can make the ball move, but I kind of always rely on my slider. Okay,
so the slider is the definitive out pitch for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, do you have a memory of like the aha moment where you first learned how to throw that slider, or your first breaking ball? Because I feel like that's a big moment in every pitcher's life.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like last year in high school, it was good, but it wasn't like great. And then over the summer, it was pretty terrible. I didn't even throw one. And then actually like right before I went to Jupiter in October, I was watching a YouTube video, I think, and I saw how Max Scherzer grips his, and I tried that grip, but I tried to like change it a little bit because I'm not Max Scherzer. And honestly, it was just really good.
None of us are. And no one, I think, lives under that pretend reality that they are also Max Scherzer. Hopefully someday, though, you'll get the chance to be, because that means you can come back and donate and build some cool stuff at Cathedral Catholic, because you'll have money to spit. Yeah, exactly. An actual clubhouse down near the baseball field, so you guys don't have to walk all the way up and down all the time. Let's talk about your time at Cathedral Catholic. We talked the other day to Xavier Watson, one of your teammates. We've had your brother on the show. Basically, every year there's about 4 or 5 Division I commits in the Cathedral Catholic seniors levels. What's it been like to be around that much talent throughout high school?
Honestly, it's been a blessing, because you always want to push yourself more because you see how good the guys are that you're playing with. It's been, my sophomore year, I can speak firsthand. We had the pitching staff was just crazy. It was my brother, we had Michael D. Flippy, we had Nick Nastrini, Cade Brown, and Noah Owen. And that's like 6 D1 arms right there. And it's just pretty special to be able to be at practice with those guys and like learn from them.
So you're saying that it's okay to not be the superstar and start, because sometimes you can absorb stuff from other players.
I mean, yeah, my sophomore year I played JV. It's just at practice I try to absorb as much as I can.
And I think that's a big lesson that I always try to have the seniors teach the younger underclassmen. It's not always entirely about getting out there and starting from day one of freshman year. Sometimes it's about learning from those that are currently there. I think that's something that happens a lot at schools.
Yeah, no, I definitely had to wait my turn.
And it's something that you still made it to a Division I school, and you're grateful for. Yeah, and things kind of all end up working out like that. What's it like? I just, everybody that goes to Saints and Cathedral, I ask, what's it like living through a week of the Holy Bowl?
I mean, I never played in it, but the Holy Bowl is pretty special.
No, and that's why I asked, because you're on campus for it, and some of the football players are a little isolated from it. So from the student, the fan section point of view, what's it like to be on campus for that?
It's pretty crazy. I mean, the whole week is just, you see the lines at lunch for the tickets. I usually get mine pretty early in the week because I'm smart about it. But then, like, on game day, if you try to talk to any of the football players, it's pretty hard to get a word out of them just because of how much more focused they are for this game. And I mean, they're focused for every game, but this game, it's like if they lose, they know that it's not an option to lose against them.
So then it comes down to Friday night, and there's actual pyrotechnics involved. Like, you got the Los Locos have actual, like, fireworks, sparklers coming up from the front. What's it like to be involved in that on a Friday night?
It's pretty cool. I mean, the sparklers are cold if you touch them. People think they're hard. They were like hot, but if you touch them, they're pretty cold.
Okay, yeah, because I just assumed you guys were basically literally playing with fire.
No, yeah. People think they're super hot, but they were pretty cold, actually, if you touch them. It was weird. I don't know how, but it was weird. But it's pretty insane. Like, after we score a touchdown, you can't really see anything. Just all the fog in your face and the sparklers, you can't see anything.
Yeah, it's for those of you that haven't seen it, we'll repost the edits from earlier this year from the Los Locos, but it's pretty much like you look at it and you're like, no, that's a professional production group. Like, they have coordinated this year round, and this is their full-time job, being fans of something. And no, they're just students that are really passionate, because that rivalry is insane.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's talk just kind of baseball in general. I like to ask all the high school players, what, if anything, their takeaway was from all the Astros stuff. Like, do kids today even really care about that? Like, does that diminish your view of them in any way?
Yeah, I can't stand them now. I mean, I'm a diehard Yankees fan. My mom was born and raised in New York, so I had no choice. It was either be a Yankees fan or leave. But I can't stand the Astros. I mean, I lost all respect for Bregman and all. I mean, I can't stand talking about it because I think
fair enough. I will drop it. To me, it's interesting because I think that for the baseball people out there, you know, my generation, it was we hate the steroids guys now, and we have no respect for them. But then, you know, 10 years later, people are like, why aren't these guys in the Hall of Fame? And now it's a new thing, but is it really a thing? Because there's always kind of been the people will clap on second base if they think it's going to be a changeup, and there's the unwritten rules of all of it, and you get caught.
You don't. Pitcher, like, it's your fault if you're tipping pitches, but in my opinion, like, if they know what you're going to throw and you're not tipping pitches, it's completely unfair.
Yeah. I think the best response to all of it was how Trevor Bauer just came out in spring training game and started.
Trevor Bauer for that. Yeah,
that was
awesome.
That man is all sorts of crazy, all over the place crazy. And I'm sure that we could exchange some stories about it at some point, but that has to all be off the record and off air because none of them are PG because of his insanity. But yeah, so I think that's just kind of where I fall down. So you're a Yankees fan, is that what I'm hearing? Has that been tough the last couple of years after going from championships all the time to being a little bit of a drought?
You know, it has been a little tough, and that may make me more mad at the Astros for that because we can't get there. But I mean, the last one was 2009, and the last one I saw was a while ago. So I'm hoping we can get there this year.
So 2009, you would have been what, in like 4th or 5th grade?
Yeah, but I remember it vividly.
Yeah, it's hey, and the only thing that I really remember vividly about the postseason for the Padres is losing to the Yankees. So thank you. I'm glad that you, even though you weren't alive,
remind you.
Were you even alive when that happened?
No.
Yeah, but yeah, he knows it's a sweep. Thanks, Yankees fans, for always being so passionate about your former teams. Is there a favorite Yankee all time for you?
Yeah, my favorite Yankee since I was little. Even though I'm a pitcher, it's always been Derek Jeter. My graduation present, actually, my mom surprised me, is if it still happens, we're gonna go see him get inducted this year in Cooperstown.
Ooh, that's legit. That's very awesome. Cooperstown is insane. It's very, very, it's crazy small. So I can only imagine when there's an actual induction happening, that'll be an insane experience.
Yeah.
I hope that if anything, they push it back so that he does get the proper turnout, and help everybody still get there, because that, for upstate New York, for the captain, I'm assuming would have been a crazy day.
Yeah, it's going to be packed.
Well, let's fingers crossed that all of our social distancing and stuff will work out, and that you'll get to go there, and that we'll get to see you back playing some baseball soon. Cooper, thank you so much for joining us, folks. Go ahead and follow this kid, because look, he's going to a place where, like he said, they make pitchers there. So I'm sure that we'll be hearing from him over the next couple of years and on into the future. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.